And good morning to everyone on a morning coffee with Marcaida. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up, if I can get this, there you go. Sorry. Don't fall. How's everybody doing? Was away for a few days, enjoying the Labor Day. Hope everybody's doing well. And of course, now everybody's batting down the hatches because of this Hurricane Irma. And one of the things that I was talking with I went home and talked to my boys, was one of the things I appreciated about what they got to do was being part of the Boy Scouts. And being part of the Boy Scouts was always about being prepared. And with everything that's going on, we always take things for granted because I myself didn't have these things. And we're talking about, having a disaster plan for the family. I mean, what do we do every day? Every day we prepare for work. We make sure we have our keys, we have our stuff that we got to bring, we know how to get there. So if you think of that structure of how I get to and from work and from work all the way home, there's a process that we all do. But are we prepared for our own things, for our own family? So having a plan, a disaster plan, is very important. It's just thinking of when you grab your keys, you're looking for, the security of locking, unlocking. You have a plan for transportation to and from work. You have a plan that while you're at work, aside from the things that you're going to do, you know that you have to also feed yourself while you're at work. So all these basic necessities you're already doing for yourself. You should also consider finding one for your own family. Having a plan, that was very important to have. And being part of with Boy Scouts, we had to go through with our own theater force as a family project to make this. And it actually is very good. Just like you have these fire drills at work or in school, you should also think about one at home. So we start from the core of the house. First of all, if anything should happen immediately, like all of a sudden it happens, you should have a meeting spot outside your house where the whole family gets together so that you can account for everyone, so that everybody knows where everybody is for that. If you have a meeting spot outside the house, then you should also have a meeting spot outside your neighborhood. If anything happens, and let's say you're scattered somewhere else and you don't have access to the house, let's say something happened and where you can't get home, you should also have a plan to where the family can meet. And that could be anywhere from a library or your community center or even the church if you go have church practices or a community place that everybody meets. But make sure that everybody knows how to get there. Then communication. Cell phones may not work. Remember that. That's one of the things we talk, like what happened 9/11 because everybody's making phone calls to everyone. But texts do work and they do pass on if you have access to that. And also the internet. Use Facebook. Use Instagram. Everybody, as a matter of fact, in the last, with Harvey, people were using that to communicate with each other. Think about using technology for that purpose. And have an outside contact that's outside your own state, like a point of contact that everybody can report to, because sometimes it's easier to make access to them rather than the local vicinity that you're in where, the lines could be down and everything like that. When you're looking at these things, it's really try to make sure that you're protecting the communication of the family, that everybody knows where everybody is when it happens. Don't wait till the last minute. A simple plan like this. Once you have this, make sure everyone at home knows what to do and follows the same rules that you've created, the same plan. Sometimes we prepare so much, this is what I would do, this is what I would do. But remember, when you're a family and you have everyone else in there that is not part of that plan, it's going to get confusing. You can't execute unless everybody does it together. And you just pretty much try to, test each other and ask, okay, what would happen if this? Where are we going? You have to communicate and do some dry runs of this. Where's the phone numbers? How are we going to do this? Not everybody in the family actually might be old enough or know how to use these technologies. Make sure that there's a way that the information gets to them. And then lastly, you need to know, when it's time to go. If you got to leave your place, where do you evacuate to? And when you're talking about, these evacuation centers, it's good for you to find out about your neighborhood, where everybody should be going. You need to know where to go. You need to also think about how to get there. So if everything's over here, we're here. This is our emergency place when we have to evacuate. This is where to go. How are you going to get there? That's important when you make the choice of where to go, how to go, when to go. because sometimes it's safer to be at home and you can batten down the hatches, but if things don't go very well, how are you going to get there now? So you have to have this communication breakdowns and all these other things, because preparedness is always key, and if you're not prepared for that, you don't have a plan, it starts to make things difficult when you have to react last minute. And the simple things of everybody's needs, because we are all individuals. What are the needs? Are there medications that we have to be worried about? What if pharmacies are closed? And you have the bare necessities that you have at home. Of course, everybody goes out and starts panic buying. They get water, important, of course. Food, very important. Electricity, of course. Batteries and forms like that. Get all your medications and all these bare necessities that everybody needs. But you also need to know when it's time to evacuate. Do you wait for the rising waters to get to the point that I can't get out of here? And so you got to have people know that if in case you have to get out of the house, you have a way to do so. And once again, making plans. So just a thing that I thought we'd talk about. And I'm wishing everybody out there safety, and of course, prayers to everyone, positive thoughts, and hopefully they can get through this. But if you have to go through that, now's the time to really get prepared for everything, but have a plan. All these ideas, we did this as a game, or not a game, it's one of the things we practiced during Boy Scouts, but you can find all this online. So many. Your regular state will actually give you preparedness tips. It's all in the fingertips of your hands. Find that out. Same thing also can be done with ideas of go bags. What do I keep? What are the main things that I need to have at home that, like everyone's first aid kit and all these bare necessities that you need to make things are good, and also security for the things that you have and how to prepare for that. One of my friends used to go, well, all I need to do is follow somebody like you who knows everything else, and that's all I need to do. Take you out and take your stuff. Not a good way to do that, but there are people thinking that way, though. It may be a joke, but when people are also desperate, crazy things happen. So I wish everybody well. I'm back on track. Hopefully that this gets things stirring in your head, because we take a lot of things for granted. But if you have the ability to prepare for work, to and from work, you have the ability to prepare for everyday life, make sure that your own home, the home base, you have a preparedness and a plan on how to execute that, so that everybody knows what to do in case of these bad times. Doug Marcaida here. Coffee's getting cold like everybody worries. It's always good. There we go. Always good. Stay warm, stay dry, everybody be safe. See you soon.